Well, as Jeff said, I'm Jay. I came to the ministry roughly 18 months ago, and I came from a background of drugs and alcohol at an early age. 12, 13 years old, I started using. I had a broken childhood most of my life, in and out of different foster homes and different family members I lived with for my whole teenage years, my youth years, and then I started faltering and getting myself arrested. Became heavily addicted to alcohol, marijuana, cocaine, and it took control of my life. All the way up until 21, I never tried to get myself clean. I tried once at 21, then I lost a fiance a couple of years later, and I went back down the same road again, back to the alcohol, the drugs, the things that comforted them sorrows, those pains. And I was enjoying, at first, using alcohol and drugs. I enjoyed it. But God turned that around where I couldn't do it anymore with enjoyment. I was in utter misery of using drugs and alcohol. It didn't fulfill me anymore. It made me feel disgusted, useless. And at about 23, 24 actually, I found the Lighthouse Ministries. I called the number, actually I had it in my pocket for about a couple weeks. A gentleman that went through our Lighthouse actually gave it to me, and I gave them a call. And I found through the ministry that Jesus Christ is all I needed in my life to set me free, not only from the addictions, but the bondage of that sin that I was walking in. And that enjoyment was fulfilled by Him now. I have that peace of Christ in me. And now, I'm not serving myself anymore. I'm serving God. I'm serving others. And it's all the glory to God for using this ministry. It wasn't easy for me. I was so used to my own ways. People telling me what to do. Didn't sit right with me at first, like most of us that go through the ministry. But Jeff was very patient in working with me. He still works for me well today, and he's a very good counselor. I could say a very good friend. And I just thank Pastor Wendell also. His obedience and Jeff's obedience to opening these ministries to seek out broken men that people thought were worthless or useless in the world, and giving us a chance. And all we needed to do is receive God in our lives, Christ, and we'd be set free from these addictions in these ways. So I just thank you guys.
Jay and I were talking earlier today, and we were discussing how we care about people. And we were discussing what we were like when we first came into the ministry. And we were so angry and so self-centered that we were just angry at everybody. And it was everybody else's fault. It wasn't our fault. And I was talking to him today, and we just sat there and just couldn't believe that God did such a miracle in our hearts that we actually feel like we have to serve others now. We care about others. And I think that's the biggest miracle in the world. It took a guy like me that loved me. I love me more than anything in the whole world. And now he's sometimes I still do, don't I? But he's put a desire in my heart to not only serve him, but let him work through me to serve others. And it really gives me fulfillment. A lot of times I get guys that call me late at night or call me here or there. They say, man, I don't want to bother you. I said, bother me? I said, are you kidding me? This is what gives my life fulfillment. When things are a mess and everything falls apart and you got to do a lot of counseling. I know a lot of you pastors know that when you counsel and help people, you go home at night, you're emotionally wore out, but you're also fulfilled that God's using you in others' lives. And that's what it's all about, relationships. I want to thank Wendell. I know Nancy couldn't be here tonight. I've been praying for her. I want to thank Kim. And I just want to thank Wendell's whole family, that if they weren't obedient to God's call, I think I would be dead today. When I called Wendell, I was desperate. I was hopeless, didn't have any hope. I didn't see anything. And I just remember sitting in front of Wendell's desk crying, and I said, I've lost everything, I'm a mess, I don't know. And he said, son, let me tell you something. He said, if you'll follow Jesus Christ one day at a time, he says he has a plan for your life, and he'll lead you where you need to go if you just follow him one day at a time. And now it's been 26 years, and I'm looking back, and people say, how long have you been following God? I say, I don't know, I was yesterday. The day before. One day at a time. Amen?
Amen.
One day at a time, sweet Jesus. Amen. I just want to thank Wendell so much. He's my pops in the Lord, and he's my pops all together now. My stepdad and my real father are dead. My mother's dead, so he is my father on earth now. And he's been so, so patient with me. And you were his father? In India? Did you hear him? He said, behave, Peter. But I just want to thank his whole family and everybody just for all the sacrifice. I know I watched over the years the sacrifice that they gave to have him minister to all us men. And I just appreciate it so much. Thank you, Wendell. Kim, if you'd thank your mother for me. And I will when I get down there, but I want to thank your whole family.